Ibogaine, if you don't know what it is like this incredibly powerful psychedelic, and the way it manifests for everyone, no exceptions, every single person who's ever done it, is this like intense audit of you and your life. If you get all the way to you're getting divorced, then I don't think it's working, you know?
I mean, I feel like you should do everything you can to try to keep your family together, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Totally. I told you, like, the Ibogaine thing, like the thing, that was the moment where we had gone through all of that like thought it was gonna work, then like, you know what, you know,
when you were on your journey.
Yeah, the final moment where I knew for sure it was over, and it was a post, just like, you know, just like this, except you
and our kids and some other dude. This was, for those of y'all that haven't caught that, Jesse did Ibogaine and went on an alternate reality story. It
was rough, dude. Ibogaine, if you don't know what it is like this incredibly powerful psychedelic, and the way it manifests for everyone, no exceptions, every single person who's ever done it, is this like intense audit of you and your life. Like it's like
makes you like evaluate all your choices and
exactly, or whatever
where your choices are,
whatever
it
decides you need to see is what it is.
So crazy.
And like there is not a person who I have ever heard of who's done it where that is not what they experienced. And it's like, it's usually.
Can you do it in the States or only in Mexico?
I don't think you can do it legally in the States.
Got it.
Chris Bell from Bigger, Faster, Stronger is a buddy of mine. He just came and interviewed me about it, and he did it in the States, but it was like done, you know, not medically in a hotel. Like, you do have to do it in a facility when you do it correctly. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's what it's like. It's an audit of your life. And
cray.
And it was just like, hey, Jesse on fire, you fucking idiot. Like, so here are your options. Here are your choices that you've made, and here's what you do. And like, these are the risks that you take. These are the things that let me show you what your future is if you make these types of decisions. And I was in my future dimension where I had made terrible decisions that cost me my family. And I was literally in an apartment alone in the moment where I knew for sure that it was over. Like not just like, oh, you know, whatever. It was like we had gone through the therapy, the like trying to date, trying to make it work, trying all this, whatever. And I was sitting there, I was looking at it at an Instagram post. Like, it was just like, I don't, you know, it was non-specific, but it was like the moment where like
you knew, and
I knew for sure that I had lost her.
It's like in a dream. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Yeah.
It was awful. It's actually usually very challenging for me to talk about. I don't know how I'm doing it so clean right now, but
when you've done it so many times, it gets easier.
Yeah, I did. I did when he asked me about it. That's the whole reason that he came out to interview me, was because I told him that story on the phone, and he's like, I really want to get that for the movie. And
did you cry on the phone?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or I had to stop and stop and stop. And when he came out here,
he's like, damn it, where was that for the camera?
Well, I kind of like, when we were talking about it, I was like, for a second, I was like,
yeah.
And then I kind of pulled it together. But I don't know. It's gnarly. It's not like, because the way you experience it, it's not like, it's hard to explain. It's not like a hypothetical. It's like, it's a memory.
Yeah.
For me, like, it's like a memory of something that happened. It's very hard to explain.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so Kristen Cavallari is revenge banging this dude, and good for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
worked out in his favor.
Yeah. I wonder.
Probably hers too right now, for being honest.
I wonder, like, God, like someone who's been together with someone for super long, and then they start like sleeping with like a new person, has to be so weird. It can go super weird in like all these different ways.
For sure.
Like
that's different. You're not doing the thing that I'm used to.
Or, damn, I had no idea that my dude
this was
didn't
available.
know what. Yeah, like what the fuck was he doing? No wonder I didn't want to have sex with him very often. It was like, I would hear all these other wives talking about sleeping with their husband. And I was like, gosh, you have that much energy. It's like, jizz feels like this. I'd have done it all the time.
Yeah.
Or the opposite, you know, or the opposite.
Touche.
I bet you a lot of people end up back together just because they have bad luck in the first couple experiences that they have outside.
That's not impossible.
Not just sexually either. Like, you know, they just, you know, some people, they're out, they have a, you know, they meet someone, they're like, wow, I kind of really like this person and everything kind of works out and it's whatever. And then, but like, dude, think about if you went on, you dated 3 people.
And they were all just a bust and horrible.
They just sucked.
You're like, well, shit, there's nothing else out there. I guess.
Or it starts making your old one look much better.
Yeah.
Someone who's like been together since they were really young and just never.
Like that you took for granted, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I can't relate to that, but obviously you can't relate to that. I mean, geez.
Not at all.
Jeez. So what other drama is going on? I mean, you know, Kristen Cavallari, that just felt like such a diamond in the rough topic. That was. What about like, who else was on that show?
The Hills?
Yeah.
Heidi and Audrina.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? Actually, I forgot about this. That Kristen Cavallari's been actually talking about a lot lately is her, like, she lost her brother, I guess.
I saw a little snippet of that on Instagram.
And I, like, when I saw that, I'm like, I wonder if that has anything to do with this young guy, but I don't think so. He doesn't look like him. How did he die?
I don't know.
Overdose or something? Yeah. Mental illness and substance abuse.
It's so sad.
Dude, the guy that
was almost my brother.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah. But you guys didn't like grow up together like
not in the same household, no.
Not to minimize that, but
no,
it's different if it's like
for sure
your sibling that
I
you grew up
agree
together
wholeheartedly
with. But yeah, see, it's like, so the family speculated that he had bipolar disorder. So like this week, the guy I've been doing all my coverage on, Ryan Garcia, is this 25-year-old like superstar boxer. He's super good looking. He's an incredible boxer. He has 10 million followers.
Oh, is that the one that you were saying was posting all kinds of crazy nonsense?
Yes,
like he's in a manic episode right now or something?
Yeah. And like, I think it's a combination of mental illness and substance abuse.
I had a couple manic depressive patients, and it's completely wild, the shift that you see in them, and they can feel it coming on. And it's a common misconception about bipolar, manic depressive is that people just flip-flop, like just, you know,
that
on a whim.
Fast.
It happens fast, and that people flip-flop from mania to depression. Typically in that mental illness, people either tend toward mania or they tend toward depression.
Oh, so maybe I am bipolar, just mania all the time. I'm just kidding.
But people have like these prodromal symptoms, like they have onset symptoms. They can feel a manic episode coming on, or they can feel a depressive episode coming on. And typically if they catch it with the right substance or the right treatment, they can offset it.
Yeah.
But it's, people go into mania for, it's not like, you know, 10 minutes and 10 minutes. It's weeks for some people, or days, weeks, months. You get stuck in a mania or you get stuck in a depression. So some people that think that they're depressed, or some people that think that they have ADHD, it's possible that that's actually what's going on. It's a really, really wild phenomenon that happens in people's brains.
Dude, imagine if you
clinically difficult to diagnose, actually.
Imagine if you know that you're bipolar and you feel the depressed version coming on. That must be
horrifying,
utterly terrifying. Like, you know,
especially if you don't feel like you have tools and you're not equipped to deal with it, and just the utter despair knowing that it's coming on. We'll send you into it that much faster too.
Look at how good looking this fucking kid is.
He is handsome.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like I would imagine that's got to be very challenging.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, cause like, think about what it feels like, you know, when you know you caught the flu before you get the flu, you know, that feeling where you're like,
I think I'm getting sick.
No, not sick. The flu.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very identified. Like every time that there's been
that like body ache,
it's like it's like 5 to 6 hours before you drop, but you feel it. And usually for me, it was always like in the middle center of my back.
Mine's my low back.
And I would go, oh my fucking God. And it's like, you know, for 100% sure you're right. And you're like, oh my God, that is the worst feeling.
You just know it's coming
ever.
Speaking of backs, my back feels so much better from going to the chiropractor today.
Too, dude.
Shout out Dr. Kenji.
Dr.
We
Kenji
love you.
is the king. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and you'll know next time me and my beautiful wife put out more episodes of Play with Matches.